Right. So today, just wanted to take some time and touch bases with you all, for as the certification review goes. All right, and address some things that I've seen continue to be an issue. Hopefully, we can eradicate it, and so that it won't be a problem in the future. All right. So, what to expect on the exam and how to study. I want to make sure that we listen. All right. I see this a great deal with you all um, not listening. You cannot just jump into an assignment and or anything without getting the directions first. All right. You want to make sure that you all um, read all the materials, and this piggybacks off the listening. I've seen quite a few times where someone will text me or call me and say, "Oh, I don't know what we're supposed to do," and I say, "Did you read it?" No, I didn't. I just opened it up. Yeah, let's not do that. Go back and read it. All right. Um, Opening up tests after I have stated numerous times that, hey, do not take tests until you are sure that you're ready. You make sure that you have ample time to complete it and that you are free from all distractions. Okay. Um, Use all the resources available. All right. We're not just going to just rely on Google, Quizlet, Quizzes, YouTube to study. Everything that you need is in the book. All right. You guys pay for these books, so use the books. All right. Um, so this here is the um, what the breakdown of the what you can expect on the test is when we call it the test plan. All right. So zoom in. All right. You see the different sections I spoke to you all about. Um, Different things you see. You see patient comfort and safety, EKG, um, placement techniques, EKG, recording interpretation, troubleshooting and maintenance. All right. So all the things that you can expect to see on your exam. All right. Back out. We're gonna go to the phlebotomy one. Before we go there, these are some of the questions that you can expect to see on the excuse my text message. Some of the types of questions you can expect to see on the exam. This is what the EKG interpretation will look like. You have matching. Um, you have the multiple choice. Um, Pretty much it's the same test formats that you all are used to. So what you're going to see on the exam. All right, now we're going to go over to the phlebotomy. All right, we're down to the test plan. Um, all right, again, see the different things, quality and professional issues, infection control, which I told y'all is a great part of this, order and equipment selection, patient ID and site preparation, and collections. All right. Um, and then you also have problems and corrections. All right, and these are all the things that you can expect to see on the certification. All right. Um, I know you all are wondering. Yes, I'm going to. Um, I have this uploaded so you all can see what to expect. I'm not going to upload it right away, but I am going to have it uploaded for you all to see. All right. So again, just be mindful as you go through this review. I'm going to make sure that you listen to all the instructions. I'm saying I want you to read all materials and study all of your resources. Okay, I mean I've posted um, different posters throughout the time we've been doing the distant learning, um, videos, articles. I've shared quite a few things with you all during this time, and I would like for you all to utilize them all. Right? Um, Utilize all of them. All right. Um, all right. So at the on the first page of every chapter in the phlebotomy book, you get a breakdown like this: is the NAACLS entry level phlebotomist competency addressed in this chapter. It tells you essentially what is going to be talked about in this chapter as it pertains to your certification. All right. Um, and it even has a code to let you know how things are going to be discussed in this in the chapter. All right. So you see the depth and level of coverage. You see a B. It's going to be basic or beginning information. Intermediate for the I, and advanced information will be noted by the A. All right. Please note that the topics covered in one chapter may also be discussed in more in detail in other chapters. Okay. Again, this is why it's important for you all to read. You can't just rely on the lecture videos. You can't just rely on being in the classroom um, with an instructor, and you can't just flip through the book trying to find answers. Okay, you have to spend time reading. All right, if your reading comprehension is not where you would like it to be, practice. Okay, it's the only way we're going to get better. Practice, 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 practice. Okay, if you read something and you gain understanding, um, read something so that you gain understanding. Okay, I understand that everyone learns different. I want us to get out of that headspace where, well, I need the hands on, or I we all learn through all of our senses. We just have a preferred method in which we like to learn, but we learn using all of our senses. If you were in a classroom, your instructor would tell you what to do. Okay, then they will show you what to do, so then you will visually see it. So you've heard it, you can visualize it now that you see them doing it, and then you will do it yourself, or you're touching it. All right, and you're processing the thoughts, the different parts of the process in your mind. So you use all of your senses when it comes to learning. We just have a preferred method that um, we like to use to learn. Okay, so I believe this right here was from I believe this is from chapter 4. I believe. So we're talking about OSHA and infection control. Yeah, infection control. Is definitely chapter 4. All right, so in this chapter, just like with the objectives, you will see that you'll be able to demonstrate knowledge of infection control and safety, um, identify the policies and procedures for beginning, um, procedures for maintaining laboratory safety, and you see here is indicated by B. So this is basic or this beginning level. Demonstrate acceptance of practices for infection control, isolation techniques, aseptic techniques, and method for disease prevention. Again, it's basic. Jump on down, identifying and discuss modes of transmission of infection, methods and position. B. I'm not going to read the rest of them. You all can see. Um, and you see these that's intermediate. That means they're going to give you should have a good understanding by now. So they're going to go into a little bit more in detail about it in this chapter. Again, This stuff is going to be covered in various chapters, so you can't just say like, "Oh, I'm just going to study this chapter for to ensure that I know this." You can't, because everything in this book goes together. For those of you that watch the lectures, you'll hear me. You have heard me make references to other chapters. New students, this is a great time for you all to get acquainted with the information. All right, it's not a matter of you not being here for it. This is a great opportunity for you to get acquainted with the information that has been discussed. And it's only going to help you as you move forward. All right, you'll be able to grasp concepts um, easier as you move forward. And you all know that wherever you came in, that'll be your stopping point. So if you came in on chapter 16, when now that you did chapter 16 and 17, and you're getting a taste of what you can expect on your certification when it comes back around, and you go through chapters 1 through 15, it'll make a lot more sense. It'll be a lot easier for you to grasp the concepts of it. You'll understand why you had to do things the way they did, or why we talked about information that we did in the whatever chapters that you came in on. All right. So please do not take this for granted. Please do not take it for granted, because this is only going to help you. It's not a matter of, well, I don't have to take it now, and please take advantage of it. Please. All right. So this is the breakdown that we get as instructors for the for how things match up on the exam, and the proper chapters they correlate with. All right, so it says perform tasks within the scope of practice. Receive training. This is chapter 1. Okay, practice and quality control, quality assessments. All right, so give me a second. All right. Um, the next point: perform and record quality control procedures and results, temperature logs, glucose meters. This is talked about in chapters 1 and chapter 14. All right. Um, skip on down. It says perform phlebotomy tasks while maintaining patient guarantees under the Patient Care Partnership Patient Bill of Rights, American Hospital Association, consent privacy. This is in chapter 3. We talked about the professional ethics and legal regulatory issues. All right. So when it comes to the review question, again, just knowing where to look for the information, it will help you out a great deal with finding the answers. We can cut that time with you flipping through the different pages down if you know where to look. So if you know what I'm saying, if we're talking about infection control, after you flip through the book a few times, you'll automatically start to begin to associate infection control with chapter 4. So anytime that you see anything with infection control, you'll know that, hey, chapter 4 would be a good place for me to start with looking for this information. And then once I get into chapter 4, I'll look at the NAACLS what's going to be talked about in that chapter, and then skim down there, and then I'll skim through the different section topics to see where I should focus my attention. All right. All right. So this is the test breakdown. This goes from the highest percentages all the way down to um, the least amount of questions. All right. Um, let's see something. Not what I need. Right. Um, so the biggest areas would be patient comfort and safety, EKG placement, EKG recording and interpretation, EKG troubleshooting and maintenance, um, infection control, orders and equipment, patient ID and site preparation, and collection. Okay, before I continue, in case you all haven't picked up on it, I put both exams together just so you know what the main focus is for each exam. All right. Um, you have quality and professional issues, and then problems and corrections. All right. So the least amount of questions will be for um, problems and corrections, and the most questions will be on um, EKG placement techniques and recording and interpretation. Those both it will be 36 questions for each of those. All right. Um, you will have 3 hours to take the exam. It contains 125 questions, scored items, and um, 25 unscored items. So roughly around 150 questions on the exam. All right. This came up in the beginning, and I was very, very, extremely um, lenient with you all in the beginning, but now as you all get close to certification time, it's time um, for us to take the training wheels off. Um, and hearing that you all are not pleased with the fact that Ms. Fisher is making the exams timed. Um, your certification is timed, okay? And it's not open book. It's all about what you can pull from your memory, all right? Um, Open book tests are considered to be the hardest exams on the planet, because when people hear open book tests, it's like, oh well, I'm just not gonna worry about it. It'll be easy. Um, and they often don't do as good as they think they will, or feel as though they should have. It's because they don't spend the time studying. They see that as an easy out, and so they will not put forth their energy to learn any of the information. So they'll spend a great deal of time second guessing themselves and flipping through the pages of the textbook, um, shuffling through their notes, trying to find the correct answers. Um, and so ultimately that costs them in the end. In order to be successful with the open book test, study, study, study. That's how you pass an open book test. You start out by going through answering the questions that you know the answers to, that you will not need the book for, and then you go back to the ones that challenge you, and then you go from there. By answering the questions that you already know the answer to, you could possibly find the answer to one of those questions that challenges you, or presents you with a challenge. Maybe the answer is in that question, or you think about the answer may jog a memory that leads you to finding that answer. All right, so just be mindful of that. I promise you all, an hour is more than enough time to take a 20-25 minute exam. And the breakdown into a minute per question. That's reading and going through the answer selections using process of elimination. We know there's going to be one good answer, one true answer, another possible answer, and two of them that aren't going to make absolutely no sense. All right. So through the process of elimination, is 1 minute per question. In 25 minutes, the test could be done. You take that last 35 minutes and you go back and verify your answers. It's not that hard. All right. I want to get so caught up in these security blankets. Like that's what's hurting us. Oh, I need to be in the classroom, or I need more time. No, no. You can do it. I promise you, you can do it. It's going to be a challenge. It's definitely going to be a challenge. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but we can ease the pain by taking this medicine with a spoonful of sugar, like Mary Poppins would say. Putting the time in to study. Just because you're online, um, still study the material. All right. Repetition is the fall of learning. You all have heard me say that quite a few times. You have to practice this stuff. Practice, 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 practice. All right. If you read something 1,000 times, when it comes time for you to do it, it's much easier for you to recall the steps in your mind because you've read it so many times. Even if you are stumbling because you know it because it's in your mind, you can recall steps. It's just like singing a song, like karaoke, so to speak. Like you know the song, but you have to hear like if you get off key or you forget a word and someone says something or that jogs your memory, right? And it helps you remember the words to the song. All right. So I want to talk about the attendance policy. Okay, this is what I posted this a while back. I believe it was like early April, um, early somewhere. It was sometime in April when I posted this. Just wanted to bring this back up for you all as a gentle reminder and inform our new students of what the procedure is, what's considered the makeup procedure is, and what's considered an excused absence. Okay, absences can be considered excused when the student provides an improved documented excuse to the instructor in advance of missing class. In the case of emergency, documents can be provided to the instructor when a student returns to school. Students who miss class will always be marked absent. However, students with excused absence are given a 2-day grace period to make up assignments with no penalty. All right. So if you know you're going to be absent and you know you're not going to be able to get to work that day, you need to inform me or Miss Fisher. Okay. Um, I understand life happens. I've never pushed for anyone to let me know that when they're not going to be in class, like right at that moment, to say I always ask, I need your excuses. If this stuff still has to be documented. Just because we're not in school doesn't mean I don't need documentation. Because I often get, well, hey, I missed this assignment. Can you open this back up? Or I don't have any documents stating why you were absent. So I mean, I can open it up for you, but you're not going to get full credit. All right, and you will be graded accordingly. All right. The following is a list of examples in which document excuses can be reviewed for approval. Military duty, jury duty, sickness, doctor's note is required when you're sick. So, I had some bad sushi, or I'm lactose intolerant and I had ice cream with the kids last night. Sorry. It's unfortunate. But, you know, if I don't have any documentation behind it, right? Hospitalization, right? Discharge papers is is something. We need something showing that you were in the hospital. All right. From the hospital or from the doctor. Doctor sent you, didn't get anything from him, but they gave you a prescription to go pick up. I mean, that would justify that you had to go see the doctor. All right. Um, so what an excused absence is versus an unexcused absence. Okay, students has 2 days from the date of the original assignment to make it up and still earn the actual grade on the assignment. 2 days with documentation, like excused absence. After the 2 day grace period has expired, 5 percentage points will be deducted from the possible grade for each day that the assignment is not made up, for a maximum of 25 percentage points or 5 days. If the assignment has not been made up within 7 days or the original assignment date, then the student receives a grade of 0 on an assignment. Students do not have, if it's an excused absence, you don't have 2 days, a 2 day grace period to make it up. You have to make it up that day. 5 percentage points will be deducted from the possible grade for each day that the assignment is not made up, for a maximum of 25% points. So 5 days, the assignment has not been made up within 5 days of the original assignment date, then the student receives a grade of 0 on that assignment. All right. So essentially, you just have 5 days to make up your work. Just 5. But if you have an excuse, you get 2 extra days. If you don't have an excuse, you have 5 days to get the assignments made up. All right. So be mindful of that as you move forward with your making up your assignments. I want to say something that I'm starting to see a lot of. When you do any assignments, if you are not content with the grade, you can't message and say, "Oh, well, I didn't do good on that. Can you reopen it?" No, that's not how this works. It's not how this works. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. Um, but yeah, we have to cut that out. All right. Um, you know, the work typically goes up at like 5 in the morning. You have until 11:59 at night to get the assignment turned in. Okay. Again, this is Unitech. This is not Edmodo. Edmodo is not a byproduct of Unitech. So if something is wrong with Edmodo, there's nothing that we can do. I've shared with you all in the past. Hey, if it crashes, it's not taking your work, comes up, sends the dog ate your assignment, refresh. If that doesn't work, log out, go walk around your house, have a snack, and give the service time to reset, um, and then come back to it. Right? We have seen these things quite a few times since we started this distance learning thing in March, and as schools are starting to open back up, more and more people are going to be using Edmodo. I shared with you all here recently about the changes that you see on Edmodo. If you're using your computer, I don't believe I've seen it from my phone, but if you're on your computer, you will see that you see target ads all over the place. This is called monetization. Through monetizing your site, simply put, allowing people to run ads on your site, they pay you because people will see your ads on this site and what they spend all their time. So more than likely, they're likely to come spend money with their company. All right. So it's like an exchange of goods. All right. And so to get more um, reliable servers or stronger servers to handle all the traffic, that's why you see those ads. All right. Hopefully they make enough money to get some more stable servers so that we won't see these issues. Or hopefully, what I'm saying, things get better to where you all will be able to go back into the classroom, which I think you all are getting ready to come back in the classroom. Um, so you won't spend that much time on Edmodo. But again, in short, There's nothing that we can do when Edmodo is not working. Log out, shut it down, come back to it later. All right. Please make sure that you allow yourself to have ample enough time to complete your assignments. All right. Your phone's not working or you had to work. I mean, these are things that we can work with. But again, this doesn't need to be a continue. This doesn't need to continue to be an ongoing thing, like I've been seeing since we started in March. It's always work. It's always the phone. Um, I would much rather just say, hey, I forgot. All right. Um, Keep in mind that we all communicate. There have been times where a student has told me something about why they didn't complete their work, and then told someone else something completely different. All right, so keep in mind that we all communicate, and so we will make the adjustments accordingly um, with these things. All right, right. Um, this is something else that I've seen us having an issue with turning in assignments. Um, Want to try to help you all eradicate that to get this under control. Um, you all are going to be required to submit a resume to me. Some of you have had no issue with this. Some of you continue to have an issue with this, and I want to just address it so that everyone is on the same page on the way that you were doing it. This way may be a lot easier. All right. Um, all right. So we're gonna go into the Edmodo. So this is from my student page. This is what you all typically see when you log in. Scroll down, see what assignments we have for that day. Um, Get my work. Utilize your book bag for your assignments. Okay, write your stuff down and upload it into your book bag, so you can turn it in. So you'll go open your book bag up, click the plus sign. You take pictures of your key terms or whatever, add it to your book bag. Then once it's loaded, then you can select that assignment. Then you'll click the arrow at the top and say turn in with the assignment. Then it's going to bring you to the screen where all the assignments are, and you can turn it into whatever assignment that you're trying to turn it into. Okay. Um, Please, you all stop sending me your work to my phone, please. Yeah, because sometimes I'm human, and I will forget. I will forget. As I'm going back and checking work or assisting Miss Fisher with making sure that the grades are in. It's easy for me to forget with all the messages and that I have coming through on my phone all day, whether it be so my personal messages or messages from students. All right, it's easy to get that for them to get lost because I do have a lot of traffic on my phone all day. Um, Again, also remind you all that on things like the discussion questions, where your answers have to be approved. It's because you haven't seen it up there. That doesn't mean it wasn't received. I try to hold off on the answers till the end later on in the day to give everyone a fair opportunity to answer the question. Because if I'm the first person to do the work and not, my answer is just there for everyone to see, it's easier for like someone could just come in and just say the same thing. All right, what's the point of that? who's working, who's learning anything. No one. Right? So let's be mindful of that. All right. So showed you all how to add work to your book bag. For those of you that want to take pictures of your key terms, you should add your work to your book bag so you can post it to the assignments. Because I often hear, well, it's not taking um, my pictures, or it's only allowing me to upload so many pictures. Well, I don't know. I've never had a problem with it when I was testing out how to work things. Some people say they can get it sometimes, some people say they can't. So it's an alternative way of doing things. Hopefully that helps you all. Um, Again, make sure that you utilize all your resources, listen to the lectures, read over all the assignments, um, any other posts that have been made. Use all of that when studying for the exam. Okay, yep, that's it. Please don't hesitate to let me know if you all need something. Most of you all have my number. While I'm not um, actually instructing a class anymore, I still, you see, you all are still on in my classroom. So all the work still staying being posted by Mr. Davis, even though you hear Miss Fisher's voice on some of the more recent lectures. I just feel like it was just easier for everyone because I had a lot of the work there for her already to use. And that way you all didn't have to have to worry about switching to another class. All your grades and stuff is there. Um, so there's that. Um, as always, I'm here if you need me. We're gonna get through this, so don't worry about it. We're gonna be great.